4 decades, 2 space probes, countless of leaps for humanity's advancement, bound to say goodbye as we bid farewell to Voyager 1 and 2. Before we say our final words to these 2 amazing space probes, let us first discover what they were able to give back to humanity and what is expected from them before we bid our farewells. Hello there, and welcome back to the Discover Space channel, where we join you to take on the cosmic adventures you'd never want to miss. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get on to the video. The Voyager spacecraft is running short on power after traveling billions of kilometers in space for the previous 4.5 decades. The twin probe's power levels have gradually decreased at a rate of 4 watts per year. This means that we won't be able to communicate with the faraway spacecraft for long, and the remarkable expedition will come to an end. NASA turned off the Voyager probe's equipment over time to extend their lifespan. Following this, where each Voyager was launched with 10 various scientific instruments, Voyager 2 now has 5 operational, whereas Voyager 1 only has 4. And this year, NASA intends to power off some of the Voyager's last operational systems in the hopes of remaining in contact with them during their remarkable voyages until at least 2030. Currently, these probes are the farthest man-made instruments in space. However, their road to accomplish the unthinkable began on a difficult note. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, the 4 giant planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, aligned like precious stones studded in a celestial necklace in a long arc with Earth. This alignment occurs just once every 176 years. Making it the ideal time to send a probe to study the outer planets. This is because, in such an alignment, a spaceship may benefit from the gravitational pull of each big planet it passes through. If launched precisely by the mid-70s, a spacecraft's journey duration between Earth and Neptune would have lowered from 30 years to 12 years. Voyager 1 arrived at Jupiter in March 1979, followed by Voyager 2, which arrived in July of that year in a separate track. The Voyagers captured over 33,000 images of Jupiter and its satellites. Some of the most stunning photographs captured by Voyagers during their Jupiter journey were some of the gas giant's 3rd largest moon, Io, whose multicolored appearance was surprising. After studying the Jovian system, the spacecraft received a parting kick of 35,700 miles per hour from Jupiter and continued on to Saturn, where they parted ways. While Voyager 1 raced through Saturn's rings, passing Titan and eventually flying north out of the planet's plane, Voyager 2 resumed its journey to Uranus and Neptune. Voyager 2 discovered 10 additional moons orbiting Uranus in 1986, adding the planet to the long list of ringed worlds. NASA intended to switch off the camera systems on both probes when the 4-year grand tour was completed. This indicates that the photographs of Neptune and its moons taken by Voyager 2 were the last images taken by either spacecraft. However, when NASA were making plans of shutting it down, Carl Sagan decided to make a special plea. He pleaded with the administration to have Voyager 1 transmit one final sequence of photos looking back at us. So, on February 14, 1990, at a distance of 4 billion miles, Voyager 1's camera was directed backward. The spacecraft took roughly 60 photos of the Sun and planets, providing the very first view of our solar system from space. Scientists revealed on December 16, 2004 that Voyager 1 has returned high readings for the magnetic field's intensity at a range of 94 astronomical units. This meant that the spacecraft had passed through the termination shock and was now in the heliosheath, a region where the solar wind rapidly slows and becomes denser and hotter. Finally, Voyager 1 became the first spacecraft to leave the heliosphere and enter interstellar space on August 25, 2012. 6 years later, in December 2018, NASA revealed that Voyager 2 had reached interstellar space as well. Voyager spacecraft have now flown further and endured longer than almost any other probe in history. They are so far that a one-way radio communication traveling at the speed of light takes about 22 hours to reach Voyager 1 and slightly more than 18 hours to reach Voyager 2. Furthermore, they move away by 3 to 4 light seconds every day. Nevertheless, both probes are indeed alive and well. They transmit data to Earth on a daily basis from planets well beyond the solar system's most distant known worlds. They are the simplest but also most efficient one-of-a-kind spaceship ever designed, since practically everything aboard was hardwired. They don't rely on long lines of codes to function, and they don't have microprocessors. All of the devices are driven by a mechanism that turns heat from plutonium's radioactive decay into electricity. However, with temperatures rapidly lowering, keeping the devices alive is tough. The mission engineers shut off the heaters for the cosmic ray detector, which had played a pivotal role in determining the heliopause transit 2 years ago. Despite the fact that everybody else anticipated the instrument to fail, it continued to function. The magnetometer and plasma science instrument, both are located in the spacecraft's body and are warmed by heat released by computers, are subject to be turned off next. If everything goes well, we may be able to prolong the missions beyond the 2030s. However, everything is dependent on power. The Voyager's adventures around the cosmos will continue even after they are muted. Voyager 1 is expected to approach our closest neighbor star, Proxima Centauri, in another 16,700 years, followed by Voyager 2, 3,600 years later. They will then remain to circle the cosmos for the next millennia. They'll be around for a while, more or less undamaged, and who knows, maybe one day they'll come into contact with another civilization and can communicate with them via the historic golden recordings on board. The golden discs include sights and sounds intended to convey a feel of the world from which the Voyagers originated. Given that the expeditions were only supposed to last 4 years, they have well surpassed everybody's expectation. The historic spacecraft's time is indeed running out, and one day, they will drift out of reach of the deep space system, sinking into a sea of endless quiet. Thank you so much for tuning in with us for yet another cosmic adventure. Comment below what adventures you want to take on next, and we'll be there with you.